CJ Flyer back with another YouTube video. I cannot believe that this happened yesterday. Wow, just wow. On a night where Luka's out, it's the second game of a back-to-back on the road in Oklahoma City, the number one team in the West. And look who comes riding in to give the Mavericks a victory. PJ Washington with 27 points, season high, 17 rebounds, a career high, 7 of 13 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3, 10 of 10 from the free throw line, 2 blocks. Oh my goodness, PJ Washington just getting it done for the Dallas Mavericks. I had picked the Thunder to win the game yesterday in yesterday's video. But as I had also said, in the event that the Mavs win the game, it would be because of the advantage on the boards and the bigs, Derek Lively and Gafford versus the Thunder, whose bigs are currently injured. And while I thought it would have been Derek Lively and Gafford getting a majority of the boards, it looks like PJ Washington decided to step in and get some of those boards himself. And a couple of those rebounds were off of his own misses. Their offensive rebounds, him driving to the hoop and fighting to get that ball in through the rim. Just absolutely incredible stuff from PJ Washington. He seems to just have it out for Oklahoma City. Maybe being a Dallas native, I don't know why exactly, but it was great. Really great performance by PJ Washington. You love to see it as a Dallas Mavericks fan. And hopefully that continues throughout the season in bigger games like this one. Now, of course, there's some stuff going around online, and you kind of figured this would happen if the Mavs won. Like, oh, the Mavs don't need Luka. Oh, Luka's overrated. Oh, Luka's holding the back. Blah blah blah. I'm not listening to that noise. You shouldn't either. That's just talk. Look, Luka needs to rest his knees. He needs to get healthy. We'll see if he plays in the next game or not. I'm hoping that he takes a little bit more of a rest. But another thing I want to comment about this PJ Washington game. If we look at the box score from the night before against the San Antonio Spurs, PJ only played 19 minutes. Yes, it was his first game back after injury, so perhaps Coach Kidd was looking to give him limited minutes in his first game back, get him warmed up. But you look at the next game against the Thunder yesterday, and he's playing not double, but, like 50% more minutes, going from 19 minutes to 28. He's going to starter minutes, basically, with Luka out of the picture for this game. And, yeah, you got to wonder if that was part of the game plan, if the Mavs had basically made the decision ahead of time that Luka was only going to play the first game of the back-to-back, but chose not to publicly announce it until the day of the Oklahoma City Thunder game. And so that's why, just a way to give some of the other starters, and, of course, the starters did get to rest early versus the Spurs as well. But you got to wonder if that was part of the strategy, is giving some of the guys on the Mavs less minutes in the game against the Spurs, and then increasing the minute load versus the Thunder with Luka out, getting that rest for his knee. I do wonder if that was part of the overall strategy or if it's just a coincidence because the Spurs game got out of hand for the Spurs in the second half and the Mavs are able to put in their bench. But we'll probably never know the answer to that. That's just pure speculation from me. That being said, really great win for the Mavs. We look at the standings now, and you see that the Warriors are now the number one team in the West over the Thunder. The Rockets have been sneaky good. They're third in the West. Mavs are now tied for 10th place, 7 wins, 7 losses. Again, it's like way too early to really pinpoint who's the best in the West, especially when you considering you got teams at the 12th and 13th spot that are 5 games back. Not saying that the Spurs or the Blazers are going to be one of the best in the West, but it's just, it's still early. It's still early. Same with the East. It's way too early to say, oh, the Cavs are the best. Even if the Cavs lose to Boston, still too early to tell, although I will say the Sixers and the Bucks situations are they're pretty desperate situations. That being said, let's go ahead and go over the games from yesterday, the rest of them. So, I had picked the Thunder to win. Even though I said that there's that one chance that the Mavs do win based on the advantage on the boards, and sure enough, that helped them win. They did almost throw the game away at the end, but they did end up getting the victory. And then for once, I actually got a game right that goes against the betting favorite. I picked the Blazers at home against the Hawks. They end up winning that one by 4 points. So starting to make a little bit of a comeback. If we scroll back up here, I have 128 of the regular season games picked correctly so far, and the sportsbook betting odds guy have 137. So we had a 10-game differential before, now it's a 9-game. And going into tonight, we have a few more games and some potential opportunities to beat the betting favorites once again if I pick the underdog here. Again, I'm not promoting or encouraging you use FanDuel Sportsbook. I'm not partner affiliated with any sports betting, sports gambling site. If you're going to do any of that, do it responsibly. I'm just sharing my opinion. It's fun to compare and see if we can outperform the betting odds. So Bulls Pistons tonight. I'm going to take the Pistons at home. The Pistons they're not too shabby this year. You know, they got some veteran experience on the team. They got Tobias Harris, which is not going to win you the conference or guarantee you a playoff spot, but that at least ensures you're probably not the worst team in the conference. 76ers and Heat. Joel Embiid was announced out with an illness. Whether that's an actual illness or it's just him skipping more games, who knows? I'm not claiming it's one way or the other. It's just kind of, I'd be frustrated if I was a Sixers fan. I'll just say that. But I'm picking the Heat at home. Wizards and Knicks. Definitely taking the Knicks. Pacers, Raptors. I'm going to take I want to take the Pacers on the road. But if we go back to the standings and just look at where things are at right now, I mean, yeah, I guess the Raptors have lost so many close games, haven't they? Oh, but they're 0 of 8 on the road. This is a home game for them, though. I don't know, man. I have a weird bias to the Raptors for no good reason whatsoever, other than I saw some Grady Dick highlights and thought, man, the Raptors might not be that bad, even though the record will show that they're bad. But I guess you could say that for any NBA team. I think we should pick the Pacers. That's probably the safe bet. Rockets and Bucks. I'm going to pick the Rockets. Bucks, you know, they got the injury issues with Middleton. They got other issues. They've had close games against bad teams. Rockets been sneaky good. We're going to take the Rockets. Magic and Suns. This is where I'm going to take the Magic on the road. I feel like that's got to be an upset. But Phoenix without Durant. Booker's been struggling a bit. I'm going to take the Magic. Hawks and Kings. We will take the Kings at home, and Warriors Clippers. This one, I could actually see the Clippers winning this game, just due to the nature of them being at home right now. They did play yesterday, right? Yeah, they played yesterday against the Jazz because Harden got the second place on the all-time three-pointers made list, second to Stephen Curry, of course. I'll still go Warriors on this one, but I could see the Clippers winning that game. So let's go ahead now. We'll compare to the FanDuel Sportsbook betting odds. Let's go ahead and scroll up, turn that off. Detroit favored in their game against the Bulls, not surprised. Miami favored, not surprised. Knicks favored, not surprised. Pacers favored, not surprised, although that is a very slim margin to be favored by. Milwaukee favored at home, so there's one where we pick differently. We got Orlando. Oh, wow, okay. I was expecting Orlando to be the underdog in this one, but it looks like they're favored. Sacramento favored at home and Golden State favored on the road. So there you have it. Let me know your thoughts on the Mavericks, thoughts on the picks for today's games, and click one of the videos on your screen now for some more NBA discussion.